the top of the class. This is a great win for the close to 100,000 men and women who rely on international students for their job. This is a plan that is safe, secure, and importantly, has been signed off by New South Wales Health and New South Wales Police. It is nation-leading and incredibly important for the New South Wales economy. International students represents our second largest export and our largest service export. There are close to 100,000 men and women right across the state who rely on this industry to support their families, and today we have led the nation to bring this industry back to our state. We have submitted a plan which is signed off by Health and Police to the federal government, and we've received strong support back, and we expect that to be for the review of our plan to be finalised in the coming days. Importantly, this plan begins with a pilot of 250 students returning to New South Wales every fortnight, and by the end of the year that will increase to 500. There are close, on average, to around 250, prior to the pandemic, 250,000 international students studying in New South Wales. There's around 50,000 students overseas currently trying to get into our state. And this is incredibly important because there is evidence, particularly around the world in places like Canada, the US and the UK, that are actively targeting this industry, which New South Wales relies on so much. This is a big win for the New South Wales economy. We believe that the cost to our economy since the pandemic began, particularly related to international students, is around $5 billion. And if we didn't do anything, that cost would grow by the end of next year to $11 billion. Now, they are big figures, but behind those big figures are people who rely on this industry for work. I'm very pleased with the work that is carried on over this period of time. When the pandemic began, one of the first meetings I had was with the university sector. And since then, we've worked towards this plan. I want to thank New South Wales Health and New South Wales Police for the work that they have done with the government to make sure we can bring this industry back safely. Today is a big win for our state. It is nation leading and it ensures that men and women right across the state are able to continue in work in what has been a very difficult time.
Where are you housing them? Is it Redfern?
Yeah, so no, we went out to procurement with 4 providers. One provider has been preferred, and those negotiations are about to be finalised.
So will that be the block?
I'm not going to go into that. We will make the announcement in relation to that preferred provider once those negotiations are finished. That'll be in a few days.
And then who's the security? Is it going to be private security guards, or is it going to be the police, like how it operates?
This will operate alongside our hotel quarantine system. Importantly, not one returning Australian will not get a seat on a plane as a result of this plan. We will be running this alongside the 3,000 returning Australians who come into our hotel quarantine system every week. And that's important. Let's not forget that close to 40% of people who return into Sydney are from other states. We have done the heavy lifting when it comes to quarantine, and importantly, this plan will sit neatly alongside hotel quarantine, and the costs to the New South Wales government will be nil.
Hang on, just to clarify though, are you using the police?
Yes, so it will be exactly the same arrangements with police and health, and those costs, both in terms of student travel, in terms of security, in terms of accommodation, will be covered by the industry.